What is up, guys? My name is Jack Gardiner and welcome back to yet another free lesson on a Friday. I believe that this is episode 11 actually, so we are going to be taking a look at the altered scale this week. This was actually a request from last week's lesson in the comments section. I saw a few people asking, can we have a little look at, the altered scale and how we can use it today. I'm going to walk you guys through some of my ideas when it comes to applying this scale to harmony. But first, I do want to ask, like always, please do make sure you comment, like, subscribe, click that little bell for notifications. I make free lesson content every Friday. If you do want to support me and you have been enjoying this lesson series, then the best way to do that really is to buy my lesson packages, or you do have the option to donate. A few of you guys have been doing that, and honestly it means the world to me, especially when I am self-funding my own music. I won't give away what it is just yet, I nearly did there, but that's coming potentially in a week's time, 2 weeks, you'll see very, very soon. I can't wait to share that with you. So yeah, guys, let's dig into the teaching part then. So what is the altered scale? Well, essentially it comes from the melodic minor scale. It's the 7th mode of the melodic minor scale, if you like. Sometimes you'll see it written as super Locrian, that's the technical name for it, but more commonly it's referred to as the altered scale. Now, if you're not familiar with what the melodic minor scale is, I did do a lesson on this, like in the fundamentals, a couple of weeks back. I'll leave the link in the description, or you can just go onto my channel and look back a few lessons. But yeah, really, it's important to understand that first fundamentally. That way we can see how these intervals are going to be constructed on the 7th mode, which is the altered scale. So in terms of intervals then, this scale, essentially it's flat everything. So you've got root, then it'll be flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. Now, where can we use this then? That's the question. Really, it's used over dominant 7th chords or altered dominant chords. Now, you really just need to understand the principle of what a dominant 7th chord is, really. So let's talk about it in terms of shell voicings. All you need to create a dominant 7th chord is the root. We're in G, just to let you guys know in case you didn't realise. And then you need the 3rd, major 3rd that is, and then some kind of flat 7. So we've got this one, or minor 7 if you like. So together, I've just taken the 3rd up an octave there. But that should be root, flat 7, major 3rd. Now, the altered scale can be played just over that if there's no extensions or anything. You can force this sound. In fact, you can force this sound even when there are extensions there. But it works really well when we play an altered chord. Now, there are 3 of these in particular that you will come across the most. So we would have a flat 9, which is part of the scale. You could have a sharp 9, which is the same as a flat 3, which is also in the scale. That's the kind of Hendrix sound. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about there, it's basically this shape. This is the Hendrix shape, I guess. And then the last one, which we'll most commonly use for an altered chord, is going to actually be the sharp 5, which I guess you could think of as like the flat 6. I've heard some people call it flat 13. I like to just think of it as sharp 5. Now you might be thinking, why is there no sharp 11 there? Well, really, I think that's got a different purpose. That is all to do with tritone substitutions, and dominant 7 sharp 11s have their own kind of function, if you like, in the harmony. So let's just forget about that for now. Let's just remember we can use dominant 7 with a flat 9, a sharp 9, or a sharp 5. Now the scale itself then, let's just quickly play through. So, I mean, if you know a pentatonic around position 1, this is going to be how the altered scale looks around that. I'll just quickly play pentatonic, minor pentatonic position 1 first, so G minor. So let's just play the altered scale then. So we've got root, flat 9, sharp 9, or flat 3 rather, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, and then root again. You may hear there, I actually slipped, I said flat 9, sharp 9. You can refer to these as that if you like. I guess it's the same thing. The 9 is exactly the same as the 2, remember. And it's more commonly referred to as sharp 9 anyway, rather than flat 3, considering it's a dominant 7th chord, which would have a major 3rd usually. So, how can we use it then? What's the point? Well, essentially it's to create tension. So over a G7 chord, usually that's the kind of resolution. It's usually going 5 to 1. So in the case of this backing track, we were actually in C minor, if you like. It was kind of like a Dorian vibe. So chord 1 would have been like the C minor, and then when we went to chord 5, that was our altered dominant. That was this G7 sound. I think some of the voicings that I actually played were things like this. So we'd have like G7 sharp 9 to G7 flat 9, resolving nicely back to like a C minor 7. Well, this one, for example, exactly the same thing. That's going to be a Hendrix chord. That's G7 sharp 9, G7 flat 9 to C minor 7, or you can play like a C minor 6. This kind of sound to get that Dorian flavour. Now, where should you begin practicing this then? I think it's important to really just get the scale down first, because it's such a weird kind of shape and a lot of people struggle to phrase with it. I think we should really concentrate on small little cells within it. But really, I mean, what can you do to outline this sound? Well, a nice little trick early on is to actually build a diminished arpeggio from the flat 9 or the flat 2nd interval. So you could go from G sharp and build this like a G sharp or an A flat diminished arpeggio. Now that works really well. Make sure you're doing it in context over the G so that you're getting this sound. And just get used to playing that over the 5 chord. I think that's probably the best thing to do in the beginning. Maybe I should play over the backing track to give you an idea really. Let's give that a go. So a good place to start really would be to try and link a C minor arpeggio with this A flat or G sharp diminished thing. So you can take one bar where you're going to play over a C minor 7 chord, and one bar where you play over a G7 altered chord like the sharp 5 I'm going to play right now. So an arpeggio where we just take basically like 8th notes on each one and try and find the next nearest note of the next arpeggio. So again, remember this is going to be a C minor 7 arpeggio to a G sharp diminished or an A flat diminished. Just gives a really cool sound. Now, another thing which you might try really is to take small fragments of the scale to play with. So maybe a cool idea would be to play, say, the third and the flat 9. Or one thing which I like to do actually is go to a flat 3 to the major third, then the flat 9, and then that will resolve to the 5th of C. So you get something like this. Flat 3, major 3, there's the flat 9, pivot back, and then that will obviously be the 5th of the chord. So that'll sound nice. There I just resolved to a different note. Obviously I played this because that's part of G altered, and then resolved to the 9th. So yeah, I mean, this is a topic that we could go so in depth on, but I think it's best if you are new to this scale to just focus on these little fundamentals. Try to transcribe as many of your favourite players playing little 5-to-1 movements. You know, you can find, I'm sure, tons of resources out there of 2-5-1s in the more traditional jazz sense, something that I'm not very good at. But yeah, I mean, look to the beginning of this video, see how I try to resolve. Sorry, I just dropped my pick, I do that all the time. But guys, anyway, I hope this helps. So really focus on the diminished arpeggio built from the minor second or the flat 9, flat second, and see if you can basically resolve that to chord 1, or take small cells of the scale, so like I did where it was just like the major 3 to the flat 9, and see where you can resolve it. Linking arpeggios is always a great idea. I've done that in quite a few of these videos to give you an idea of how we can connect the harmony, but I think it's a really good exercise actually, regardless of the application. You know, it doesn't matter what chords you're playing, you should always try that. Anyway guys, I hope this all made sense. Like I said at the beginning, if you did enjoy this, please do let me know in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, click that little bell for notifications, and also let me know what it is that you guys want to see next in next week's lesson. Till next time guys, cheers.